Welcome to the Sauced Hockey Podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Charlie.
And we're back. Woo, we had a little long break there from episodes, huh? Life's been busy but good. Boys finished up their winter season and are now playing spring hockey. Charlie and Augie are playing with the Knoxville Junior Ice Bears for the spring, and Sully's still playing with Kaha at Cool Sports, or Icarium, what it was called when I was a kid. And what do we have on today's episode, Charlie?
We're going to talk about a recap of the Predators season as it came to an end, missing the playoffs barely.
Barely, like one game away, basically.
And we're going to talk about the 2026 Draft Lottery results and a playoff update. The playoffs have started. Playoff hockey.
Great playoffs so far.
We're going to do a hockey crossword puzzle and finish it off with our featured cards of the day.
Okay, should be a fun episode. We're looking forward to getting back into the rhythm of episodes and keeping you guys up to date with what's going on in the playoffs. But let's start with the Predators season. So it came to an end. Coming down to the wire, we had gotten into the wild card spot with just a few games left, but there was like a 4-team race at least. There was a couple teams that could have joined into the race, right? But there were a few fighting for it hard. It was us, the Los Angeles Kings,
San Jose Sharks,
the San Jose Sharks,
Winnipeg Jets, and there was also like the St. Louis Blues,
Kraken. And even a little bit like the Ducks, sort of, right? Couldn't they have fallen out or something?
We could have stolen,
or Vegas, or like it was possible that the Pacific teams could have fallen out of the top 3 because they were so bad this year and into the bottom wild card spot. So even like the Edmonton Oilers, I think, had a chance of falling into that spot, didn't they? So
no Pacific team was safe.
Yeah, no Pacific team was safe. When it got down to it, all of the top 3 Central spots were clinched, and the first wild card was clinched, and none of the Pacific teams were clinched. So it was weird that a wild card spot was clinched before any of the Pacific Division. I think in like an all-time low points for a division leader, probably in the NHL. I don't know what the record is, but that was close. So it comes down to the wire. Preds have some really good, intense games in the end, but lose a couple of the ones that they just really needed to win to make it into the playoffs. Which one stuck out to you?
I mean, of course, that last Sharks one, our 81st game of the season, biggest game of the season.
Yeah.
As we joke about.
Yeah, we joked every game. Tonight's game is the biggest game of the season. 2 nights later, tonight's game is the biggest game of the season.
And so we were all hyped up, waiting for a game. Now that was several weeks ago, so I don't remember very well. But
I'll pull up the score.
Going in, the race was basically narrowed down to us and the Kings. The Sharks and the Jets were had a 3 or 4 point. They were just below us. It was just us and the Kings fighting for it.
Yeah, Sharks won 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2. So
Chernyshov scored a power play goal in the second period to go up 1-0, followed by Celebrini in the third period to take a 2-0 lead. That's right, Evangelista came in clutch that game at the end of the game. He scores his 11th goal of the year, assisted by Ufko and Perbix. Then Celebrini gets an empty netter, so you're thinking okay, game's probably over 3-1. But then Evangelista scores again a few seconds later, assisted by Ufko and Yossi, 3-2. So Evangelista just put the team on his back. He's like, guys, we gotta win this. We're going to the playoffs, but Wasn't enough.
Him and Ufko.
Yeah, him and Ufko. Ufko assisted on both. So yeah, that was probably the toughest loss of those last few games. So then by that point, we lost that one. LA Kings won their next one. They clinched the spot. We know it's over. We have one game left of the year. And the last game was exciting. It was us against the Ducks, which had we won the Sharks game, the Ducks game would have decided if we made it to the playoffs or not. But we lost because we had the tiebreaker against LA. So if we had won the Sharks game and won the Ducks game, we would have made it in no matter what, even if LA had won their games. But alas, we had already lost the Sharks game, so it didn't really matter, which meant the Preds could just go out there, have fun. Forsberg ends up scoring 2 and breaking the 40-goal mark again.
And Stamkos also gets 2.
Stammer gets 2, also over 40 goals this year. So we had 2 40-goal scorers and ended up being one of the only teams in the last, many seasons to have 2 40-goal scorers and not make the playoffs. So I feel like that's a disappointing but also encouraging statistic. Okay, we have a really good core of veteran players. We can still make a run at this thing. And that's where Predators fans are split. The team, in all of their exit interviews, the leaders, O'Reilly, Stammer, all these guys are saying, yeah, we want to make a push for the playoffs again next year. Let's adjust, let's work hard. We think we have the right team. Maybe we make a couple of additions, and we go for it. A lot of fans are saying, no, get rid of all the veterans, tear it down, let's go for a whole rebuild. Where do you stand on that?
I think we don't need a rebuild based off of mostly how good we did in some games in the last 2 weeks of the season. If we kept playing how we were playing right before the deadline, we would probably just have to rebuild.
Yeah.
But I feel okay with how we did in the last couple weeks.
Me too, and I think it's encouraging that at the deadline we traded some of our core depth pieces. Michael McCarron, Cole Smith, who else? Bunting, yeah. And throughout this past year, right, we also had gotten rid of Colton Sissons, Jeremy Lauzon, guys like that, who are all doing pretty well with the teams that grabbed them. Those ended up being really important pieces for some of the playoff teams, except for Bunting. Dallas didn't really use him, and they got eliminated, but I don't think they really gave him a chance. I think it was healthy scratched most of their games. But, so all those pieces are fitting in, and we got rid of them, so you're thinking, okay, the team's going to get worse, but our young guys were able to step up and fill those roles really well. Think of guys like Zach LaRue, he fit on that fourth line really well. So did Reed Schaefer, right? He was playing well on the fourth line. We brought up Ufko, who filled the spot of, what's that defenseman's name? Number 37?
Connor
Clydenberg. We have a clip we need to show you guys. Actually, here I think I can pull it up on. I'll get it in a minute. Let's finish what we're talking about. But Nick Blankenberg, he's another piece we traded to Colorado, who's filling a role there. He scored a big goal for them in Game 1 of the second round this past week. So, but we had our young guys were able to fill the role. What I think that says is we already have a decent young core coming up. And we haven't even tried guys yet like Riker Lee or Cameron Reed or Alex Wong or Igor Surin, right? There's all these other players that we've already drafted in our system, or Brady Martin, who we tried for a few games and sent him back to juniors, that are going to keep coming up and filling some of those spaces as the veteran core goes on. I kind of think you keep the veteran core while they're playing so good. Forsberg's scoring 40, Stammer's scoring 40. Yossi was really good this year when he was in. Still one of the best defensemen in the league. And that lets the young guys learn from them and the team be more competitive. Don't you think that the team fighting for a playoff spot at the end of the year and playing meaningful hockey hockey games that were important games is going to help all those young guys that got to be in those games get better. Like, they're going to have experience now for, like, okay, this is how we have to play. This is how we got to get ready. I think that's all a good thing. I don't think you need a full teardown.
No.
And then, as some of these older guys age out and their contracts expire, you just don't re-sign them. You let them retire and, you know, they're ready to move on. I think Stammer has a couple years left. Yossi has a few years left. Saros has a lot of years left, which is a little bit concerning just because Onunen was playing better than him down the stretch. We were using Onunen in some of those big games, and he did really, really good. He had the best goaltending performance of the entire league in that game. Who was that against? I don't remember.
One game?
It was like a shutout. He had like +7 goals saved above expected. It was against the Ducks. Man,
5-0.
incredible game.
Another guy that we pulled up was Cole O'Hara in the last game.
That's right, Cole O'Hara. He's been great, and he assisted on a Steven Stamkos goal. Imagine, like, your first National Hockey League point is on this Hall of Fame legend, one of the top 20 goal scorers of all time. You know, that's so neat for Cole O'Hara. So yeah, we have a lot of guys coming up, and I think it's going to be really exciting to see where the Predators go next. Anything else you want to point out from the season? We talked about, you know, some of the veterans having a really good year. O'Reilly had an incredible year, probably his second best season of his career, other than the 2019 Blues season where he won the Cup and won the Conn Smythe. O'Reilly was so good for us all year. Who else? Anyone else stand out?
No, I just like watching all the young guys. No one else really stands out as really, really good this year.
Yeah. I was really hoping to see more from Kemmel. I hope he turns into something good. In the preseason, he had this like huge hit and game-winning goal against the Carolina Hurricanes that made us so excited. And I didn't think we really got to see. He has a really nasty shot, and I don't think we got to see him shoot the puck very much this year. So
he scored a goal, but he didn't shoot the puck.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. His first goal of the year, he ran into the goal. He got pushed into the goalie.
Yeah, someone pushed him, but he was just on the ground with the puck, just gliding into the goal.
Yeah.
We were at that game.
He snowplowed it. That's right. We were at the game in Tampa. Yeah, very cool.
And we thought it was gonna be like a penalty or something just on them, but then the referee was like, "We are reviewing to see if it's a good goal or not."
And it was
like, good goal.
What?
Well, I mean, it's not his fault. Like the net is like pushed over or anything.
Yeah, and they pushed him into the net, and the puck went with him. So that's not on him. That's a goal. So yeah, that was funny. But overall, I think a great year for Preds fans, especially after the year we had before. Obviously, any year you miss the playoffs is a little bit of a bummer. Playoff hockey is so fun to watch, but you know we had a few years where we just got bumped out in the first round. You know, ever since 2018, the year we won the President's Cup, right? I think we've been kind of downhill since then. So hopefully these couple of years where we're drafting young guys and waiting for them to mature, you know, we can turn back into a team that can contend for the Cup again. Hopefully one day. I think that's probably the argument that a lot of fans make on why a full rebuild is necessary, is their judgment for that isn't can you make the playoffs or not. Their judgment is can you win the Cup or not. A lot of people feel like you can't win the Cup unless you go fully to the bottom and get the number one pick. And I think that's a good segue to our next topic, which is the NHL Draft Lottery was last night. Last night?
Yeah.
Last night. And 2 years in a row now, a team has moved up fairly significantly. I guess last year's was more, right?
The Maple Leafs actually only moved up like 4 spots.
Whereas the Islanders moved up
like the
most you can.
The most you could possibly move up.
But last night, the Toronto Maple Leafs got the first overall pick in the draft lottery, which will probably go to Gavin McKenna. Him and Ivar Stenberg are the top 2 prospects that everyone's imagining will go number 1 and number 2 overall. So we'll see which one they pick. I think they're going to lean towards Gavin McKenna. But the Maple Leafs get the number 1 pick. Fans are pretty furious about it. A lot of people are calling it's rigged. It's going to be, I don't think it's rigged. I don't think the NHL would do that, because if it ever came out, fans would just be so disappointed, to find out. And I think that would be a hard thing to keep protected, that they were rigging it behind the scenes and picking who they wanted to have the number 1 pick. But Maple Leafs get number 1. San Jose Sharks get the number 2 pick 2 years in a row now. That could be really big for them. I mean, they already have such a good core. They almost made the playoffs, led by phenomenal second-year player Macklin Celebrini, breaking records, already now the most points ever scored by a San Jose Shark, and he's 19 years old. So them and all the other young players on that team, the Sharks are going to be disgustingly good. And we follow a guy named No Sleeves who makes NHL 26 content. He had made a good point. He said they could take, the number 2 pick and get Ivar Stenberg or Gavin McKenna, whichever one's available. And they have another pick that they got in a trade from, I don't remember, Edmonton or something?
I don't remember.
And they could trade that one to get a good NHL level defenseman. It's where they're the weakest. They don't have a great defensive core. And then right away, they're going to be a top threat. So if Askarov ends up being a good goalie once he has NHL defenseman in front of him, which is a big if. So, what else stood out to you in the draft lottery? Anything cool?
Of course, the Predators got the 10th pick.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, we should get a decent player, an NHL player. Might take a couple years to develop, but a lot of people feel like if you can pick in the top 10 or top 15 even some years, that you're for sure getting at least like a player that might crack your top 6 forward group or your top 4 defenseman group once they develop. So that could end up being a really good player. And number 10 overall, it should be interesting. I think this year's draft, they're expecting the number 1 and number 2 to be McKenna and Stenberg, and the number 3 through 13 all are like pretty close in talent level. So I think if you have anywhere in that 3 to 13 group, you're going to get a pretty good player. Not the top tier, but the next tier player. So that should be really fun to watch. And that's, I think, in late June, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure.
June 26th or something like that. So Preds fans can tune in and see who we grab. Last year's first round, we got 3 picks in the first round. This year we just have 1, but it's a top 10 pick, so that should be cool. Okay, moving on. Let's get caught up with our fans on the Stanley Cup Playoffs, the absolute best playoffs in all of sports. There's nothing more exciting than watching the Stanley Cup Playoff tournament, other than maybe Olympic hockey.
Olympics?
That was really good. That Olympic hockey was really, really good. Really fun to watch. But, man, the Stanley Cup Playoffs, you get them every year. You know it's going to be amazing hockey. And this year started off pretty good. So we're in the second round now. What are our second round matchups? You want to catch us up?
We've got, I think probably the biggest, the craziest match in one round of the entire, playoffs. Of course, the finals would be crazy, but in the first 3 rounds, this one's probably the craziest.
Agreed.
It's Wild versus Avalanche.
And game 1 of that series happened on Sunday? Was the most insane hockey game. It looked like both teams just completely forgot to play defense. Final score, Colorado Avalanche 9, Minnesota Wild 6. But at one point, the Wild were winning 5-4, I think. It was the Avalanche started out 3-0. Wild come all the way back and take the lead. Then Avalanche take back over. That series, last night was game 2, and it wasn't as crazy. Avalanche definitely more in control the whole game. Wild still made it interesting in the end, but I think Avalanche won 4-2 final score, something like that.
5.
I think an empty netter maybe.
Yeah.
5-2. So yeah, really good series there. And then the other three.
The Pacific round matchup there in the round 2 is Las Vegas Golden Knights versus Anaheim Ducks. This one is pretty interesting. I wasn't ever really thinking this would be a round 2 matchup this season, but
Yeah, once again, the Pacific Division wasn't amazing, so I don't think anyone had great expectations for either of these teams. But then the Ducks surprised everyone and beat the Oilers in round 1. So Connor McDavid out in round 1, was injured in the series, kept playing on his injuries. Looked like he ended up, I think I saw it was maybe an ankle injury, something like that.
I think it's a foot fracture.
Oh, foot fracture. Was able to keep playing, but you could tell he was noticeably different. Still Connor McDavid. He still made some amazing plays, but not quite himself. Maybe that's why, but Oilers, once again, don't make it. And this year, they're out in the first round, so McDavid still won't have a cup. And the Ducks move on to round 2. And then Vegas had to come from behind. They were down 2-1 in their series against the Utah Mammoth, who, had a pretty good showing. But Vegas ultimately was just the more experienced team, I think. Their superstars like Jack Eichel and Mitch Marner and stuff stepped up and ended up really shutting down the Mammoth the last few games. Eichel continues to look like just one of the best centers.
Eichel is amazing, and not many people really point that out that much, but he's a really good center.
Yeah.
He makes great plays, and he's good at face-offs. Noticeable for Team USA in the Olympics.
Yeah. And now he has John Tortorella, who got to coach him in the Olympics and Four Nations as an assistant, took over the head coaching role for Vegas at the end of the season. Vegas was on a 9-game losing streak or something like that. And they said, forget it, we're swapping coaches right before the playoffs. And they bring in veteran coach John Tortorella, who has some interesting experience throughout the years. He's known for being really hard on players, but he was able to come in and just somehow light a fire under the Vegas Golden Knights. They went on a win streak to finish the regular season and haven't looked back. They're playing great in the playoffs. He's got that team playing like they used to play, and that all of a sudden makes them a big threat again. Since that team came into the league, Vegas has been a top Western team almost every single year. It's amazing. And they've won the cup once already.
The playoffs?
I think maybe 1 year they missed the playoffs.
Around the COVID era?
Something like that, yeah. And then they've been to the conference finals 4 times or something crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's very impressive what they're doing, and they have a chance to make it again. They're up 1-0 in the series against the Ducks. They're the more mature, experienced team. Eichel, I noticed, in the last maybe 3 or 4 games against Utah, they had Logan Cooley and Dylan Guenther, really scoring goals well. He decided to switch to being, a little bit more defensive-minded, and he's a very good defensive forward when he wants to be. And he basically shut them down the last few games. Cooley and Guenther, they didn't get much going at all. Clayton Keller was still getting some assists, for sure, but Vegas is going to be interesting. Then over on the East, what do we have?
We have probably going to be a very fun matchup. Game 1 tonight in Canadiens versus Sabres.
Yeah. Sabres ended up being the top team in the league for the second half of the season. Just since December, have been on an absolute tear. From missing the playoffs for the last 14 years to being one of the top teams, and ended up being the top team in their division, right? They got the number 1 seed, I'm pretty sure, in their division. Carolina got the number 1 in the conference. So that series is going to be great. Canadians had maybe the most exciting first series of the round 1. When went to Game 7 against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who also looked really, really good. And that game was so close. It was that whole series was the opposite of what we said about Colorado and Minnesota. Through the entire series, there was only a few minutes. Remember, that's 60-minute games times 7, right? So we're talking about 420 minutes of hockey without overtimes. There was only a few minutes where one of the teams was up by 2 goals. The rest of the series was tied or a 1-goal lead. It was so close. And Game 7 was like that too. What was it? Was Game 7 0-0 to overtime or 1-1 to overtime or something like that?
Game 6 was a 0-0 overtime.
Game 6, okay. And then Game 7, maybe a 1-goal win for the Canadiens, something like that.
2-1, yeah.
2-1.
1-goal win.
Great series. So yeah, Buffalo-Montreal is going to be awesome.
And on the other Eastern Conference matchup in the second round, we've got Hurricanes, expected to be the powerhouse in the East, versus the Flyers, who were not expected to make it to round 2, but here they are.
Yeah, the Flyers ended up drawing the Pittsburgh Penguins in round 1, who have been very good, and they have the leaders of Crosby and Malkin and Letang like they have for 2 decades. And the Flyers' youth ended up being the difference. You know, they're a young team, also led by a first-year coach this year for that team, Rick Tocchet, and he's got them playing really good. They got this incredible boost right at the end of the year, getting their college players like Porter Martone into the lineup, and their young players just led them on a surge into the playoffs and past the Penguins in round 1. I think the Carolina Hurricanes are just going to be too much. Similar to what we said about Vegas, Carolina's been to the conference finals now, like every single year.
Every year, and then the Panthers usually just sweep them. But this year, there are no Panthers to sweep them.
Yeah, and now the Lightning are out too, who have also been in the conference finals over and over and over again. This will be the first year in maybe 5 or 6 years that it's not one of the Florida Panthers or Tampa Bay Lightning in the Eastern Conference, right? Finally.
Yeah, let's see. Panthers, Lightning.
Yeah. So it's a long time since we've had a different team in the Stanley Cup final that's not from Florida. And this might be the Carolina Hurricanes' year. They've been so good for so long and always lose to one of those teams. So we'll see. They've got Philadelphia Flyers. They're up 1 game or 2 games?
Yeah, 2 games.
They're up 2 games already, right?
Yeah.
So probably gonna get past the Flyers fairly easily, and then have the winner of Buffalo and Montreal in the Eastern Conference final. So playoffs, amazing so far. Breaking records on viewership. I think I saw that last year's playoffs, only 1 game in the first round had over 1 million viewers. And this year, almost every game had over 1 million viewers. The first game of round 2 between Carolina and Philly had 2.5 million viewers. It's a record-breaking round 2, game 1. So the coverage on ESPN and TNT has been really good. I think fans are really enjoying the hockey. The other night, if you're a new fan to hockey, imagine watching Tampa Bay and Montreal in this super tight battle of the beast, game 7, who goes to round 2. Game ends, you're like, wow, that was incredible. So tight checking, good defense, good goaltending. Let's flip on this next game. 9-6, complete chaos, Wild and Avalanche. So, I mean, you don't know what you're going to get any night. And it's really exciting. Really exciting to watch. 9-6 is not normal for a playoff game. That's just weird hockey. I feel like you're much more likely to see a game like that in, November.
Yeah. First 2 months of the season, and, teams are random bad teams are still fighting, trying to figure out how to get going for the season. They just have this random crazy game.
Yeah.
Like, most of the, like, in the history, most of, like, 10-1 games, like, 10-goal games, have been, like, probably in, like, the first 2 or 3 months.
I would imagine. It goes so hard to get that way. Or maybe at the end of the year when one team needs to win and the other team doesn't because they're already eliminated or something. You might have some blowouts like that. But when both teams need to win and you're in the Stanley Cup Playoffs and both teams are obviously very good because they made it into the playoffs, you usually don't get games like that. So that was interesting. We'll see if we get it again. So we all made our Stanley Cup playoff brackets to predict who we thought would make it. And my bracket is completely busted already. I picked the Edmonton Oilers to win it all. I thought maybe Connor McDavid, this would be his year, and had him in the finals against the Montreal Canadiens. That could still happen, but the Oilers obviously are eliminated. I only have 36 points out of a possible 136 so far, and my bracket is sitting at 38% correct. Then we go over to Charlie's bracket. He has 49 points, so he's doing better than me. His bracket is 50% correct. But he picked the Oilers to win it all also against the Carolina Hurricanes.
But the Hurricanes could still make it, and the Canadians could still make it.
And the Wild could still make it. So you could still have 3 out of 4 of your finals there. And you can, we can put these up on the video to see. I'll share them to you. Then let's go over to Augie's bracket. He picked Oilers to win it all against the Pittsburgh Penguins. So Augie's actually doing a little bit better than me. He's got 43 points out of a possible 93. So I could still pass him. His bracket is sitting at 50% correct. Then we go to Mommy's. Mommy picked the Colorado Avalanche to win it all against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So she could still have the correct Stanley Cup champion. Her bracket is only at 38% correct, though. And finally, Sully's bracket. Sully's bracket is currently 100% correct. He has 86 points out of a possible 386. He picked every winner of the first round. Now, the second round is going to get interesting because he picked the Wild to beat the Avalanche, Ducks to beat the Knights, Sabres to beat Canadians, Flyers to beat Hurricanes. One of those series hasn't started yet, Buffalo and Montreal, but the other 3, he's currently wrong. The other team is winning. So we'll see if he ends up being right, but he picks the Sabres to win it all against the Ducks.
Imagine a Sabres versus Flyers Eastern Conference final matchup.
Like no one ever would have imagined that would be the Eastern Conference final.
Ducks Sabres final.
Imagine at the beginning of the year someone telling you, this year, actually even in like December, if someone told you the Stanley Cup final this year is going to be the Anaheim Ducks versus Buffalo Sabres, you tell them they were crazy. So Sully 100% correct so far. We'll see where he goes, but that's pretty awesome. Okay, are we ready to move on to our crossword puzzle?
Okay.
I'm putting up the computer. We can't have any extra help. I think we maybe should put a timer on us.
A timer
Don't you think?
So we got to speed work.
So yeah, we only have like 10 minutes or something. Let's see. See how far we can get. What do you think? 10 minutes? 15 minutes?
I'm not sure how much time we need.
We'll see how many we can get. I guess my
26 class, 19 hours. Yeah, so it's quite a few questions.
Timer. Oh, it's set on 15. Let's do 15.
All right.
All right, we've got
Let's
15
go.
minutes. Let's start.
Okay, one across. He wears the C in Montreal.
Suzuki. Does that fit?
Yep.
Suzuki. Nick Suzuki. Man, he had a good first series against Tampa Bay. Good captain and shut down defenseman.
Should we work
like
with
Eichel.
what we have from Suzuki?
Yeah.
Okay. One down. Clinching, blank up.
Clinching, blank up.
S
Clinching. Clinching. Blank up. It starts with S. Clinching. Blank up. Clinching the playoffs.
That's what I think, but I can't think of one that fits.
Okay, let's do the next one.
No. Peter Blank had his best years in Philly.
Peter? That's neat. No. What's it start with?
Z.
Starts with a Z. Peter's. Starts with a Z.
Best years in Montreal.
Oh, I thought it was best years in Philly.
I mean Philly.
Yeah, best years in Philly. Flyers fans probably could get this. Peter Blank had his best years in Philly. Starts with a Z. Yeah, I got nothing. Next one.
No. Sims, who's making a splash at Wisconsin.
Sims?
Yes.
Who's making a splash at Wisconsin? Oh,
It's
yeah, from the Badgers, right?
uh,
Kayla Sims? No,
no, there's one more.
she was on the Olympic team,
Yeah,
wasn't
the
she?
Olympic team, I think.
Kirsten
Yeah.
Kirsten Sims. Oh, I had to reach for that. Women's college hockey. I watched a little bit of Wisconsin Badgers this year. That was so fun. They had a bunch of the USA Olympians on the team.
Right. Next.
One of those across, maybe. What's 9?
Or PWH star Mary Blank Poulin, pictured right here.
Philippe. They were in triple overtime last night. I didn't see who won. Marie-Philippe Poulin for Montreal in the PWHL.
5 down.
Read it nice and loud for our fans.
Ken Blank was once a big bad Bruin.
Ken Blank, 5 down, starts with a H.
Ken
Hayes, maybe? Ken Hayes? Hayes. Fitz. That's the name that comes to mind. Or Ken Hodge. I think there was a Ken Hodge. Not sure.
Hodge sounds like a good one. Not sure though. Should we wait for more?
Yeah, we probably should wait.
Okay, 6 down. Prepares to hit an opponent. 2 words.
6 down. Prepares to hit an opponent. Lines up? Lines up an opponent, maybe?
Try that?
Let's do it. Lines up an opponent. You line them up, right? Line them up in your sights.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Shout out Star Wars Day.
7 down. Cup winners often get a blank to show off the trophy.
Day.
Starts with a P.
7 down. Often get a blank to show off the trophy. A parade.
Parade.
Okay. Let's do one of these across so we can see if it lines up and was correct.
What about 10 across? Patron.
Patron.
It just says patron. Blank blank in blank R.
Or Patron. I don't know. Okay, try another one.
12 across. Suited up.
Suited up. Dressed.
That's probably it.
That fits. Okay. So maybe we're okay still with lines up.
See, this one's probably Hodge, right? 5 down.
Yeah.
What's that 10 across? The patron one?
Patron? No idea.
D blank N blank O.
Patron. I don't know. Okay. Next.
15 across. C 9 across. 9 across. This NBA team shares Capital One Arena with 15 across.
15 across Capital One Arena would be like,
So,
isn't Capital One Arena the Capitals?
so
Caps.
Caps, yeah.
So the NBA team would be the
Washington.
Nationals? Is that what the, no, that's baseball, right?
Baseball.
Who's
So, do we have
who's
a-
Washington? NBA. Washington. Who's the Washington NBA team?
See.
I should know this one. It's in there somewhere. I haven't watched NBA at all this last couple of years.
Do I have a little surface I can write on it?
Probably get you something.
Washington.
Is that good enough?
Washington. I feel like I'm close to it. Like it's in my mind somewhere.
Who's the Wizards?
Is it the Wizards? I can't think of another city.
Does that fit?
Wizards, and it's 9 across.
It
It
fits.
fits.
So Wizards?
Try it.
Sorry, basketball fans. Yeah, try it. Eight down, exhausted, blank up. Rest. No. Rest up?
8 down.
No, that doesn't fit.
Exhausted.
Used up? Fits.
Used up. That sounds right.
Okay. Doing pretty good. On time, we got 6 minutes
Oh,
left.
no. 2. Let's see that 2 down one. Peter Z blank Z.
Z blank Z. Yeah, I got nothing. We'll skip that one for now.
We might have done something wrong.
Yeah. 13 across. Hines, who coaches in Minnesota. John!
13.
Former Preds coach.
Wait, 13 across?
Yeah. John.
Oh, John. I was thinking Hines.
14 down. The O in OHL, which also has 3 American teams. Ontario. Let's go 18 across. The kneecap, as known to team doctors.
What?
The kneecap, as known to team doctors. Your patella. It fits. Patella.
I don't even know that word. P.
A.
Okay.
T-E-L-L-A. Okay? We got 16 down is jabs with the stick blade. Spears. I'm going to go to the next one while you're writing. 19 down. Sudden thrust. Starts with a L. A sudden thrust. Yeah, lunge could work. Lunge. Let's see, 23 across. Frankel with the PWHL's fleet. Aaron Frankel. That still fits lunge. That's good. 25 across. Foster Hewitt's famous words. He shoots, he scores! Nashville goal scored by number 9, Philip Forsberg. Yep, lunge. Let's do it. 20 down. Roke with the PWHL's Victoire. Abby Roke. Look at us with our PWHL knowledge. 24 across. Former Ranger Blue Jacket Dubinsky. Starts with a B. Brandon. Brandon Dubinsky, is that right? Sounds right.
We might have to just make assumptions at this point.
Yeah, just go. 15 down. Blank Pledge Arena is home to the Torrent and Kraken. Climate Pledge. 21 across. Sending the puck the length of the rink. Icing. 22 down. Field hockey is hot here.
What?
I blank D blank. India?
India?
We're going with India. 17 down. They represent players at contract time. Who is that? Your agent. Agents. 26 across. Holdups. Blank E, blank A, blank S. Holdups. Like
delay of game?
Delays.
Delay.
Good job. Delays. 10 across. Patron.
No.
Get back to that. Donor. Diner.
Donor?
1 down. Clinching. Blank up. S blank W. Sewing, suing. Clinch up. Clinching, blank up. I don't know. 11 across. Simon Blank was an early flyer. Simon. Yeah, I got nothing. I think we're stuck on those, huh? We got everything else. How much time we got? 50 seconds. We almost got it. We're down to 3.
Can we just...
man.
I don't got anything.
I think that's the best we can do. All right, let's check answers.
All right.
Here we go. Across, Suzuki. Bang. Philippe. Bang. Wizards. Bang. Donor was correct.
Donor. Guess that kind of.
11 was Nolit.
Wait, for which one was
11 across, Nolit.
Simon
Nolit was an early flyer. Didn't know that one.
Sounds really hard.
Dressed. We got John. We got Caps, Patella, Icing, Aaron, Brandon, Scores, Delays. We're good on all those so far. Sewing up.
I don't know.
Is for clinching. Clinching, sewing up. Interesting.
Doesn't it sound like something?
That's a weird one. Clinching, sewing up. Okay. Okay, we got it. Timer. All right. So we got that one. Or we didn't get that one. And then we got Zezel.
So there were 2 Z's.
It was 2 Z's. Zezel. Kirsten. Hodge. Lines up. Parade. Used. Ontario, Climate, Spears, Agents, Lunge, Abbey, and India. We got them all. We got all those, just those final 3. That's pretty good. 15 minutes, I think, was the right amount of time. So next time we do that, I think we do 15 minutes again. We had to, like, hurry, but we had enough time in the end. If we knew those other 3, we would have gotten it. All right, let's wrap this thing up with our featured cards of the day. I'll go first. I have, this guy was on Team USA, has had a great playoff so far, emerging, proving himself as a superstar in the NHL, but is going to need to really step it up with a couple of his teammates injured, playing against the #1 seed. Who is it?
Matt Boldy.
Matt Boldy. This is a rookie Parkhurst card. His rookie year, 21-22. Left wing, 6'2", 201 pounds. Like pretty big size. And he's bigger than this now, I think. From Milford, Massachusetts. Shout out Massachusetts, where my dad's from. Shoots left. Great player. Super fun to watch. Makes some really good plays. So shout out Matt Boldy, Team USA. You need to pick it up here against Colorado. You and Quinn Hughes. Who you got?
So I picked Matt Boldy's teammate. Was doing pretty good. I found him. It's a really cool card, I think. It's Domain Kirill Kaprizov.
Oh.
Kirill the Thrill. 2022-23 Hawk MVP.
Yeah.
Kaprizov was named the best forward at the 2017 World Junior Championship after leading all skaters with 9 goals and 12 points in 7 games.
Jeez.
His performance helped Russia win bronze in Montreal.
That's cool. Let me see that one. Yeah, that's a neat card. Domains. That's awesome. Well, that's all we got for you guys today. Great episode. Good to be back. Had a couple months there of no content, so happy to get back on, and hope you guys are all enjoying the playoff hockey. Anything to leave them with?
Do all the things. Like, subscribe, comment, share.
Yeah, let us know what parts of the show are you liking. Are you liking this new format? Charlie's been editing and posting the videos up. You like that format? Do you prefer the live format? What do you guys think? What do you like? Tell us in the comments. Tell us what you'd like to see on the show. Do you like the games we play? Let us know. We can adjust our show based on what you guys want to see. So, all right, that's it. See you next week. Bye, everybody.